We are for another review of the PowerTech products. Today we're gonna see the store builder of dashnex, but without uh, any hesitation, let's gonna see how you can add products on your store. And later we're gonna see more the general settings and also how the dashboard looks like. So as you can see, you can have um, as many store as license you have, and again for any store corresponds one domain slash subdomain. So you can have several products, I guess unlimited number, but every product is gonna belong to one domain or subdomain. Here we have this is my only store. Actually I don't use it. That just this is just a demo. We are from live to W, which is a web page building agency. um, no experience, nothing related to a store, but we wanted to do this demo anyway. Here you can see the preview of the store, more actions, all the products and the order. So if I want to add products, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to add product. You can import from a CSV file or manually. This is a very helpful function, and I guess if you really are into the store building, you definitely have to consider how to use this. But now we're gonna see the manual one, and I'm gonna add a very random. This is just a toy I found on internet. So this is every time you have a name which is for you in order to find your products more easily, and then you have the actually name your customer gonna see. As you can see, this is my subdomain. There's no custom domain in my store, and here is the personalization, what you wanna do after. So this is the price, and if you want to, I'm just gonna randomly put 35. And here, if you want to make some discount, you can write another price. So let's say 30, and then you can change this anytime, of course. Product quantity 5, very useful. So in case you're gonna receive 5 orders, automatically your product is gonna go out of order. I mean out of stock. Excuse me. Short product description, toy for kids. And here you have a longer one. And we're just gonna copy paste toy for kids, delete all of this. So the payment you can have Visa, MasterCard, we can add Stripe for instance. Now I cannot find, let's just do this. I cannot find the vertical one. Click add to cart, and here we write within 5 days. Okay, so extra description, product image. I'm just gonna use a random toy image I found online. You can add more than one if you want to. We can do this even if they are different toys, but this is just a demo. I'm sure you got it. So you can add some option, add a timer in case it's a limited offer, which type of buttons you like. You can even use custom, and it's very useful if English is not the language you want to use, so you can write anything, but for now we're gonna just use the standard one. Some SEO things in case you know what you are doing, and index follow in case this is a public offer. Otherwise, if you don't want to this to be indexed by Google, you just write no index. And in this case, we're gonna go with the very standard settings. Here we are some other stuff to fill. So social buttons, you add it when you can simply connect your social medias to the store builder. Product reference, this is just for you. It can be useful if you have a lot of products. This is a URL of the product source. I think this is only for you, but I'm not sure, to be honest. And the shipping is mandatory, and probably this is the only tricky part of the settings, because you can give any name to your class, but then you have to define the class. So for instance, here I wrote France, but when I set up the options, I included also other countries. So this is a name for you, is not actually what people are gonna see. Just a label you put to different class you're gonna use for shipping. In this case, worldwide, I selected all the countries, so this is actually worldwide shipping. This is something you have to do in the settings. You can set different classes, and you can label them based on how many days you're gonna need to send the products, how much does it cost to send it, and you can divide those areas based on that, even if you ship worldwide or if you ship in big areas like US or EU. And eventually here we have public. You put private if you want it to be a private offer, maybe only for your newsletter. But in this case, we're just gonna put public. And okay, so here I have to decide which type of category my product belongs to. So I'm gonna choose toys and games. I forgot this, and okay, I think it's perfect now. As you can see, this is very improvised demo. I didn't do anything before, but I'm sure it's gonna be useful anyway. So now we can see our store, and oops, I made some mistake. So let's go back to stores, and here I can have a preview of the store. So now again, I'm recording and I'm cropping some part of the page. So here you cannot see the whole logo, which is not even the right size it should be. But you can put your logo, you can decide what you want to have here. So I just put home and this, which is on sale in English, but I can also put all other labels and decide what items goes in what page. So this should be my home page, and actually it's very simple store. So you can decide the color, the logo, the products, of course, and here you have the privacy terms, refunds. But actually, I'm not sure you can change the language of those ones, even if everything else is personalized. As you can see, also the add to cart bottom is personalized. You can put the different type of coins, so euro or dollar, whatever you like. And if I click on the particular product, it's gonna have all the information we said before. So the two images, and again, it's very simple, but I guess it does what it says. You can write a review, and also in case you own the store, um, upload all the review you have, and list it under the actual products. So now that we see the store, how it looks like, what you can do, let's see more let's see the dashboard, which is the part I like the most, because I really like the analytics you have. So here we have a graphic in for 1 day, 7 days, 1 month, 3 months. As you can see, I don't run this store, so there's zero sales. Cry reaction. You can use some integration. You can integrate your autoresponders, email autoresponders. You can integrate automatic pop-ups. For instance, I always recommend triggered exit trigger pop-ups when you when people are buying your products, because usually, I mean, statistically wise, there's a high percentage of people which add to the cart and then leave the page, and you can always use a pop-up to pursue them to stay and keep on buying. But less talk, more showing around. And again, as I was saying, so here we have, there you can set all the shipping settings, and here we have the details for this particular store. So before we were seeing the overall, in case you have more than one store. Here you can see the details for this particular store I was showing you before. And you can personalize for some mobile settings. You can even use some promo. And part of the analytics, which is my favorite, because I think it's very important for a store to track and look the statistic of every step you have. This is very important in my opinion, because usually you have to pay for another product which does the analytics for you. And this is always important because you always want to know if people are not buying, where, why is that, and where do you have the problem. So are they just visiting your store and then leaving, or they are putting trying to buy something and they cannot, and eventually they give up, or they have some problems. This is a very important part in my opinion. And even if we have no data here, I gave a look before, and I think it gives all pretty much everything you need to know about that. So thanks again. It's very unfortunate I cannot show you more, but I don't want to um, seem I'm the expert. I'm not. So I would just say you the basic stuff I know, and leave all the other information you want to know for the actual product. I mean, the for dashnex community, for the people who sell dashnex, I'm sure they're gonna reply for any particular curiosity you have. So thanks again. Hopefully this was useful for you, and see you next time with another review.